Cruncher loves to kick the bee's nest. Always attacking into those siege lines, almost prompting DDE to go ahead and respond.
Wow. So those Hellions, very, very persistent, managed to track down and kill one of the Stalkers. In return, they take out the damaged Hellion. But that's a pretty favorable trade for DDE, I have to say. 100 minerals for, what is that, 150 minerals and 50 gas. 125 minerals and 50 gas. Scouting Barracks taking some damage over the top of that chasm. And the Destructible Rock's taking some hits from the siege tanks.
And DDE now looking to claim the high yield for himself.
Cruncher has not yet been able to claim his, just taking out the rocks for now, because he had the army and he had it around and available to do so. So that's that. He still has this pylon down in John the Translator's Common Knowledge hallway at the bottom of the map. And if he goes for some sort of DTs or something else later on in the game, he can use that to harass the third or to harass at the natural or something. DDE does have this engineering bay in the back, very nicely positioned. Pseudo engagement happening, force fields cutting off some of the units. But siege tanks are able to fire, and a lot of damage going down, but nothing really serious happening to Cruncher as a result of that. So a couple free kills, some damage on the bio, and DDE is going to probably stop building out of his barracks.
But look at this, 2 Colossi have joined the fray, extended Thermal Lance about to finish.
Nice force fields, but one too few. DDE manages to trickle his units back away from that Protoss ball.
I feel like Cruncher is being a little bit impatient here.
Yep.
I think he really needs to go ahead and one important aspect of Protoss is you need to have your units in the right order. You want your Zealots in front to tank. You want your Immortals out there in front, of course, because they don't have the best range in the world. And, you want to protect your Colossus as much as possible.
DDE going to retreat a little bit, siege up again. Cruncher not going to push into that this time. Just getting his double robo production, 2 Colossi at a time, running out. DDE with a pretty nice siege tank spread. A couple of these watching the backside, making sure nothing can sneak around too easily.
Wants to go ahead and defend that pylon. That pylon, obviously, a good situation for him to reinforce from. Good position. Now posturing. And here's the thing. You definitely want to get there before DDE decides to get that third up. Because if he can morph that to a planetary fortress, it's very, very hard for the Protoss to go ahead and break that position. DDE now using a sensor tower. All kinds of Colossus all over the place. And I think one rogue Colossus away from the pack here.
Yeah, it looks like Cruncher has not noticed just yet, but as long as he does, nothing too serious is going to happen. The Observer sees a missile turret being constructed, and it's going to want to back away from that so it doesn't meet a fiery end over this big cavern in the middle of the map. The Colossus still standing by itself over there. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a misrally or he just wants to pinch him in here.
Well, that is where his robos are both rallied to. It looks like he just kind of intercepts the ones on the way there for the most part, but 2 more are going to join that one as they pop out if he doesn't redirect them.
Well,
Planetary is being morphed.
Interesting fact about Colossus, they're not very good on their own. So he may want to go ahead and rejoin that one with the rest of the group before he loses it, as it is an extremely expensive unit, and it's going to make it much harder on himself if he lets this planetary finish, which it will.
Yeah, he even grabs the one that was moving down to join it. There he goes. He finally pulls it back. Cruncher pretty much maxed out now, and it looks like he wants to try to push in a little bit from 2 sides. He's going to be taking a lot of damage,
he goes.
But is it going to be enough?
Forcing multitasking from DDE, and so much damage right now. As we can see, these Colossus just doing so much work currently on those siege tanks. And the bio now is just going to go ahead and, I believe, rejoin army, save all of his Colossus. Sort of happy with the damage that he did. Equalizing supply.
Wow. Actually, Cruncher was ahead before that engagement by, I think, 20 or so, and now they're just even. So not the most favorable of engagements in the world for Cruncher there.
No, but what he was able to do, though,
Colossi.
he was able to go ahead and hold that thought. Here we go. We're going to have another engagement. Vikings going to try to snipe out some of this high Colossus count.
And there isn't a whole lot of anti-air. There aren't very many stalkers out for Cruncher. Just 5 of them with his army. 7 more warping in, though. He's got a lot of warp gates. He's all right.
He needs to be a little more patient as he's adding 2 more Colossus. Going to go ahead and take the high yield as well. Bit of a late third for him, but it's okay. Unable to support that many Colossus and Warp Gate off of 2 base, obviously.
Yeah, that is a lot of Colossi. This is alright. There are 9 Colossi around right now, and that's kind of the number where you're hitting the point where you only ever see that many in PvPs. So a little bit less than standard overall from Cruncher, but it looks like he wants to go secure his 4th now as well. Just making sure nothing crazy is going on down there. Gonna face off a Stalker with a Hellion. The Hellion is actually going to escape just barely with its life. Vikings making the flying V Mighty Duck formation as DDE gears up to take his 4th at the sunken 3rd base, but the pylon still back there. It's been there this entire game, and looks like we're gonna hit the point where it's gonna be some sort of, or gonna yield returns for Cruncher.
Absolutely. He's got the critical Colossi count and well over. Immortals joining the fray. Scan goes down. And I have to say, Cruncher needs to go ahead and get some more gateway support to those Colossi, or he's going to lose them quite quickly.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Protoss go for the double robo style, especially when they're going for Colossi, and especially when they have to stay on 2 bases for that long. So he's going to be really light on gateway units for a while. Now switching back to double Immortals to join up with his army, getting a Templar Archives down. But still, Cruncher not with a ton of Stalkers on the field right now. He only has 11 of them, and that's only 2 more than the number of Colossi he has, which is kind of a strange ratio, and that's a lot of Vikings for DDE. He has 11 Vikings of his own.
He's going to need them to take out this many Colossi.
2 of them down already.
Oh, and the Colossi now going down. 1, 2, 3 Colossi down. 4th one on the way. 5th. This is going to be horrible for Cruncher. He had to expect this. I don't understand what he was thinking. Just did not have the anti-air to deal with this. This will be have to be GG from here, I believe, as supply count 79 to 152 of DDE, but he's just lost so many great units. However, now morphing in has an Archon or 2 forming, but I don't know. I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah, Cruncher does not have Storm. He hasn't actually researched it, so those Templar on their own that weren't able to become Archons not going to be very useful. Archons do a ton of damage.
There's the GG, and that's it. Our champion, the reverse all kill, 6 Jacks DDE.
Very, very well played by DDE, and if you look back to that last engagement with all the Colossi dying really quickly to all the Vikings, that's exactly why you almost never see Protoss go for double Robo Colossus, especially on only 2 bases, because it's so easy for the Terran player to be like, alright, I see that you're building a lot of those, I'm going to get a lot of Vikings, and when I take those out, you're not going to have much left underneath, because you don't have much gateway support. So very well read by DDE.
Absolutely, don't call it a comeback, LL Cool J style, DDE, our champion. Congrats to him. He gets $125 in cash. Cruncher, 2nd place runner-up, $75. Thank you very much to Prepaid Legal. Also, Hotkey at